Hi everyone, the Lone Wolf here and welcome to EVE Talk, your weekly look at the EVE Online markets. And it's quite an exciting time in EVE Online. FanFest is approaching, the 10-year anniversary is approaching. Will we get that Gnosis, the ship from the Society of Conscious Thought that looks to be able to do pretty much anything and everything right? That would be an awesome gift. Everyone is expecting it. But of course we still don't know for sure. And we're here for the markets, of course, so let's jump right in. I'll have a look at titanium. I see 511 even as one of the sell orders. Here in Jita we're going as low as 554 and station buyers 548, so around 550. Definitely a bad chart here. Can't really see that much of the movement, and the bad data point is right at the end, so I can't really show you even on a shorter chart. So let's move on to pyrite, which is now 1419, 1410. I think that's holding on. Yeah, it's coming back from a top, so as long as it stays above 14, I'd say it's still a decent price on the 1 year chart, but it is also going down together with titanium, so we'll have to wait for a bit and see if it will break that 14 ISK price point. Then it might definitely go down even more, but for now it's still a decent price, although we've known a high of almost 16 ISK, so it's not as high as it was. Let's check out Mexalon prices, and 42 on one of the sell orders, that's quite low. 45.97 for sellers in Jita, so around 46 ISK, and 45 for the buyers. The chart again a bad data point here, but yeah, we've been above 50 ISK, well above 50 ISK for most of the year, and now we've gone down way below it. So that's definitely a serious correction and a low price for Mexalon at the moment. So that's not so good for the guys that are mining a lot of Plagioclasse. Last week someone asked for me to quickly check on the rest of the minerals as well. So Zydrine seems to be holding up around 800 ISK, so that's been pretty stable since like around November, after a lot of changes. This was probably due to the drone loot changes right here at the beginning of the chart. The other ones, let's see, Noxium, yeah, pretty much the same thing, holding on around 800 ISK after that December point. And again you can see that big spike and then correction after the drone loot changes about a year ago. Megasite is going up a bit, that's interesting. Let's have a quick look at the prices for Megasite. 2300 almost, 2291 and 2222. 2222 ISK for the buyers. And that's going up a little bit on the chart, although I can see at the tail end there, let's have a look at 3-month chart, that the 5-day moving average is going back down. So it does look like we might be close to a top for Megasite. Let's go back to the 1 year chart. Isogen, still a high-sec one. We're not seeing that same big movement with the changes to drone loot, but you can once again see that it's holding on pretty stably after around December. Around 150 ISK, or just below that. Prices 146.5 and 141.7 for the buyer. So yeah, that's pretty stable. Whereas the really cheap minerals like titanium, Mexalon, and pyrite are going down. So that's pretty interesting for the mineral market. Not so good for the high-sec miners. The other miners might still be okay if you're in nullsec or something like that, where you can get your Zydrine and your Megasite. That's definitely doing pretty well, because it's been going up for a bit, although I do think we're close to a top on that. So let's have a quick look at the impact on Tech 1 chips. The Drake going down a bit as well. You can clearly see it on the 1 year chart here. 5-day moving average still below the 20-day moving average, which has begun to go down a bit as well. Let's have a look at, although I think prices are still holding on, yeah, just above 50 million ISK. Drake is trying to hold on, but it's not going to be easy. I do expect if pyrite breaks that 14 ISK barrier, we might see a drop in the Drake again below 50 million. Let's have a look at the Maelstrom. Yeah, again, not very visible here, but you can see a slow downtrend on the 20-day moving average, and right here at the end, the 5-day moving average definitely moving down with a data point below 200 million ISK. So there might just be some pressure on Tech 1 chips at the moment. Something to keep in mind, and some pressure on mining income as well. Let's have a look at Tech 2 chips. We'll quickly check out the Guardian, which is still pretty damn stable. So I've always been looking at the Tech 2 market as a trading opportunity, and it still doesn't look like the logistics cruisers are back for that. So just a quick look, Basilisk chart, yeah, just that looks too stable. Maybe the Oneros still has some variation that could be trade worthy. Scimitar, just a slow uptrend in the Scimitar, but nothing, no real wavy movements to be seen there. Compare that to last year, where you had some major up and down trends. So that's a bit disappointing for traders, I think. I've gone to the command chips for maybe some trading opportunities. As you can see right there, the Absolution is on a downward trend from the top, and Damnation, same thing. But it's known some tops, and we're talking about 200 to 250 million price band, which is not so bad. Nighthawk, this one's going down, pretty stable. But if you look at the 5-day moving average, you can see that there are some spikes and some corrections in there. So that's all right. The Vulture, yeah, that looks a lot better. Look at that chart. I can see one clear correction, 1, 2, 3, 4 clear tops in this. That's okay for doing some trading. Astarte also looking pretty good. One really big top, and then 1, 2, 3, and here's a bit less, but still some movement. So I think it's okay. Definitely look at those tops on the 5-day moving averages. So definitely some speculative tops, and that could make you some trade money. EOS, pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tops, and one in the making right now. So the EOS, you could look at that and maybe get some good trading done there. Claymore, also a couple nice tops visible. Sleipnir, not so good on this one. Although we can see the 5-day moving average moving up quite a bit at the tail end here. So just maybe, yeah, command chips seem to be doing a lot better at the moment for trading compared to the logistics cruisers. That's where I'd put my money if I want to do some trading. Let's move on to Tech 3 then. Melted nano ribbons still on the ascent. Amazing. 6.2 million, they went up 0.4 million since last week. 6 million for the buyers. Definitely seems to confirm that it's a trend. 20-day moving average also moving up quite nicely. That's pretty interesting. Are we finally going to see an impact on the ships, which were pretty much all of them going down? So let's have a look at that. Strategic cruisers, the Legion, nope, holding on, but no real uptrend to be seen here. Tengu still going down. Proteus, nope, still too stable. Loki still going down. I'm pretty amazed that the melted nano ribbons are going up quite a lot. I mean, that's a trend. That's not just a one-off spike like you had right here, but that's a bit of a trend. Broke 6 million by quite a bit now, 6.2 million almost, and we're still not seeing it in the ships. So it might just be some supply problems. It might be some guys are hoarding their melted nano ribbons, trying to make some more medium-term profit on this. Or is it something structural? I don't know yet, but I find it a bit strange that it's not reflected in the ships yet. So I would expect if there's a real problem in wormhole supply at the moment, that we would see an impact on the ships as well, but we're just not seeing that at the moment. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, melted nano ribbons would have been a pretty good investment right here at around 4.6 million. You'd have made 50% profit just like that in not too much time. Since when was that? Around December, around the expansion. So yeah, as you can see, there are always investment opportunities. Melted nano ribbons would have been one just around 4 or 5 months ago. Pretty interesting stuff. Finally, let's have a look at the Plex. I guess No, before I do that, maybe just a quick word on gallium. The fuel blocks going back down, heading for 12k. I don't think that the proposed changes here will have any real impact on POS fuels. You know, there are just some general improvements in usability of POSes, but nothing that'll force people to change their fuel block habits. So I don't expect anything to move there. And technetium, that one's going down. Whoa, heading for 60k if you look at some of the data points. So I think people, I don't know what to make of that. The redistribution of industrial goods in Odyssey, and apparently people are expecting that to be bad for technetium prices because they're going down even further. I don't know enough about the product and about the upcoming changes yet to make an educated guess on whether or not this is something you could pick up as a good investment, but general consensus seems to be that technetium is going back down. Maybe the goons or some of the technetium cartel are actually dumping, trying to get as much money out of their technetium reserves as they can at the moment, expecting things to change drastically. Yeah, it's pretty interesting that they would go on a selling spree then, but that might be what's happening as well. Not really sure. If anyone has an insight in the technetium market, feel free to let me know in the comments. And finally, we'll move on to the Plex, which is holding on just below the 520 margin right there, going up and down quite a bit on that 5-day moving average, but yeah, holding on 513, something like that. Sell orders 513, something like that, and buy order 503. It's still a bit early to really expect the next expansion to have an impact, which I would expect to be an increase in price of Plex. But we'll also have to wait if there are special actions around the anniversary and around eFanFest. This could still mean a bit of pressure on the Plex prices. But I'm very happy with my investment still so far, and we'll have to wait and see what the impact of the expansions will be on Plex prices. But for the moment, yeah, holding on just above 510. And that's it for this week's ETH Talk, guys. I'll see you all next time.